Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patric Young and Terry Norvelle.
We've got some more fake football tonight, if you will, preseason exhibition. Remember the NFL years ago, the games used to be called exhibition season, and the NFL said, nah, that sounds too tacky. We want you folks to call it the preseason, the NFL preseason. So we'll call it the NFL preseason. 3 games tonight as we welcome you to the Young and Norvelle Show. I'm set up. Number one, I'm Terry Norvelle. Glad you're with us here on the program. We'll do it until 6 o'clock. I am set up, of course. It's Thursday. That means I'm on the patio at Sliders Oyster Bar. Groups are rolling in on the patio outside. They've got fans, and it's just the ocean breeze is wafting through here. We've got 6 or 7 tables already sat for happy hour going on right now at Sliders Oyster Bar, featuring, of course, Safe Harbor seafood, the freshest seafood you can get in Neptune Beach. I mean, this stuff comes right out of the ocean. Some of the stuff on the plates I'm looking at right now, well, they were swimming with their families not long ago. Sorry if that gives you a bad connotation, but you get the point. It is very, very fresh here at Sliders Oyster Bar. A lot to get to today on the program, some NFL talk. Not a lot going on with the Jaguars. Obviously, the first game, first preseason game is Saturday evening with the Steelers coming in town. Really, the big story is who and how much will the Steelers play at quarterback. You've got Will Howard, a draftee that is out with injury, and then you've got Mason Rudolph. I wouldn't pay a dime to see that guy play high school football right now. Then you've got probably the Steelers going to run out Skylar Thompson. I wouldn't pay a nickel to watch that guy play. And then it's Aaron Rodgers. I don't think they'll get to Aaron Rodgers, but my goodness, the Steelers, who's going to play quarterback? Oh, my God, the NFL. You can't expand at all until you figure out the quarterback position, the NFL quarterback position. Every year, the back end 10 franchises or so each year, the worst 10 franchises every year in the NFL generally have almost unwatchable NFL quarterback play. We may see some of that Saturday. But 3 games tonight, 3 fake football games tonight in the NFL. And you know my stance. I mean, you can tell my stance right now. I'm not, preseason doesn't do a whole lot for me, and particularly nobody plays many snaps unless there's a weird, awkward happenstance. And I think we might have one of those situations tonight. We've got 3 NFL exhibition games tonight. 7 o'clock, the Colts take on Baltimore. Cincinnati is 7:30. Cincinnati takes on the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. By the way, that would be a great game. I'd love to see that week 2 in the regular season. But it won't play out that way because of nobody playing. And then you've got a late game tonight. So 3 practice games, fake football tonight in the NFL, which normally would not command this much airtime from me. The 10 o'clock game, Las Vegas taking on Seattle. So it's a West Coast game, obviously, 10 o'clock, NFL Network. So with that said, I'm a little intrigued, and it's hard to get intrigued via a NFL preseason game. I'm intrigued to watch what happens or find out what happens tonight with the Indianapolis Colts. I think, in a weird way, this Colts game and their next 2 preseason games, they'll play 3, I think it's kind of important. And I know it's hard to figure out a reason that a preseason NFL game is important, but it's going to be fun to watch the quarterback battle. And I truly think there is legitimately a quarterback battle in Indy. Anthony Richardson, the bonus baby, high draft choice from 2 years ago, and Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, limited success, but he's been a starter. He's not terrible. He's not great. He probably was over-contracted, if that's a word or phrase. But he's got a little game. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to watch how the quarterback situation plays out in Indianapolis after 3 preseason games and once the season starts. And certainly, anything going on with the Colts, anything going on with any team in the AFC South, not named the Jaguars, affects the Jaguars in a roundabout way. Here's the way I see it. Anthony Richardson, the guy that I know from his years at Florida, from his years in Gainesville High School, playing high school football in Gainesville, I know all about him. You know all about him. It hasn't been that long since this freak athlete was running around Florida Field by way of a Gainesville high school. Big guy, athletic guy, made his really national debut in that night game. Florida took on Utah it was a neat game. That was a neat game. You don't see that very often. It got a lot of pub. And Anthony Richardson, did he play great in that game? Maybe not. He had some great plays. He had some bonehead plays. But, man, remember the Anthony Richardson quarterback Gator team that beat Utah. Florida intercepted a pass in the end zone very late in the game. Anthony Richardson had 3 or 4 absolute Heisman Trophy highlight plays. And then he was Anthony Richardson. He completed probably about 50% of his passes. But we fast forward. Anthony Richardson never gets consistent at Florida. Oh, so athletic. Teasingly athletic. Oh, my God, look at the guy. He's 6'4", he's 230, 235. He runs like a gazelle. He can throw it 900 miles down the road, but he can't hit the side of a wall, but we can teach him. We can make him. He's got the tools. We can, blah, blah. You know the drill. You know the drill. And I know he's been hurt some, but it hasn't been a smooth couple of years. So I think Anthony Richardson is playing for his starting career. I think Anthony Richardson, if he doesn't win the job this year and hold on to the job, I think it's a matter of how long does he want to just hang around in the NFL and hold a clipboard. I think the same thing can be said for Daniel Jones. I think this is the Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones final go through the washing machine, the car wash. I think this is the final trip through the car wash. And if one or both come out, and I don't know if they both can, but if at least one comes out and after the car wash, they look like an NFL car, well, they may have a decent little career. If they don't, particularly the one that somebody's going to lose his job. Somebody's not going to get the starting job when the season starts. I think this may be the end for whoever loses the job. They may be able to bump around and hold a clipboard for a couple more years. I think it's done. I think this is a big, long-winded way of saying I think this is a big 3 NFL preseason games for the Colts quarterback position. Is it going to be Anthony Richardson? I'll make this statement, and I don't know the guy. I don't know. I know him from afar, but I don't know Anthony Richardson in person. Never really talked to him on a one-on-one conversational basis. What I know of the guy and what I see observation-wise, and keep in mind, we do a lot of observation determination, if you will, sounding like Johnny Cochran. Many times we talk about, man, this athlete, what a good guy. He seems like a good guy. Well, I've never met him, but he comes across as a good guy, so we say good guy. Conversely, how many times do all of us in this industry go, man, athlete XYZ, he seems like a blankety blank. Well, I don't know him, never met him, but he comes off as a blankety blank. Anthony Richardson, never met him, never been in a interview session with him, never been in a group discussion with him. I will say the little bit I've seen from Anthony Richardson at Florida and in the NFL, he strikes me as a guy, if the Colts preseason, if we could fast forward to the end of the Colts preseason this year, if Anthony Richardson has not securely gotten his clutches on the Colts starting job, I don't think he'll ever start in the league. I think this is a guy. I don't see Anthony Richardson. Let me back up. I do not see Daniel Jones in the preseason beating out Anthony Richardson. And I think it's a competition. I don't think it's just a talking competition. I think it's a legitimate competition. But if Daniel Jones was to beat out Anthony Richardson this preseason and get the starting nod, unless Daniel Jones has 2 or 3 games in a row where he's the worst quarterback in the history of the NFL, I do not see Anthony Richardson coming back and wrestling the job during the season away from Daniel Jones. I think this might be AR's final go-around if he doesn't win the job. With all that said, it's hard to get real serious storylines in the NFL preseason. I think this is one. All right, that's my dissertation about that. I'm curious, and Casey, I'm not sure if you had your ears on for the whole dissertation there. If you did, do you have any addendums, anything to throw in there? I think Anthony Richardson, Mr. Bonus Baby, he better go win that job. I don't see him taking that job over if he doesn't win it. I don't know if that's in his DNA.
Yeah, I would agree. I think he's probably not a backup quarterback mold, right? Traditionally, I think Daniel Jones is, so that would be the only thing that where if Daniel Jones doesn't win this job, I think he could be a backup quarterback. Anthony Richardson, I'm not sure anybody's going to sign on for him to be your backup quarterback if you feel good about your starter. So I think they'll give him every opportunity, as they should, because they drafted him where they drafted him, and your GM is still in place, by the way, that drafted him. So it's not like you are, somebody else's draft pick. That staff is still in place, so I think they give him every chance. But at the end of the day, if he's not good enough, he's not good enough.
And AR is going into his 3rd year, right? This will be. I know he's had some injuries. I know he hadn't played full season.
This
correct.
Is his
3rd year.
Yep.
Yeah. This is his 3rd year. I just and tell me if you feel the same way. I don't see, and I'm not necessarily ripping on him for this trait or non-trait, because we all have different traits. Good, bad, hard, soft, I just don't see, if Anthony Richardson gets beat out over the next month and Daniel Jones is the starting quarterback, barring Daniel Jones snapping a leg or a knee or whatever, I don't see AR working 110% and re-winning that job. He just doesn't strike me as – he strikes me as much more of a front runner than a go grab the job back.
I would agree, but I think his style of play would get him on the field, right? Because there's still stuff you can do with him that Daniel Jones does not, right? And if he excels at those, do you give him more? Possibly. I would agree with you. I don't see him winning a job back midway through, but I do see a scenario where Daniel Jones is just not good, and they go, well, we've got Anthony Richardson sitting here. Let's try that. I think that would be how he gets back on the field, but the craziest part, and if you care about this, his quarterback record, the team record in games in which he's the quarterback. The Colts are a winning team, 8-7. So
with AR,
for what it's worth.
It's interesting. 8-7, you said?
That's correct.
Yeah. I'll tell you though, what an enigma he is. I mean, gosh darn, I painted the picture a moment ago. I mean, we all remember, what was it? It was 4 years ago. 4 years ago when and it was a pretty big game when Utah, and Utah and Florida had that 2-game series. They never play. It was a neat, cross-country kind of game. Utah played the first game in Gainesville. And it was a night game, and Napier was barely on the job, and this incredible athlete. And you remember the game. It was a fun-ass game. It was a great TV game. Florida wins on the interception in the end zone. AR, at midnight of that game, Gator Nation and I think College Football Nation went, holy cow. Maybe he only completed 50% of his passes, but did you see those 5 or 6 special plays? That guy's got his first. We have the first hand on the Heisman Trophy week 1.
Right.
I mean, he put on his special plays were so special under the lights that night. Little did we know he would never, ever put anything consistently back to back.
Correct. And I think those, we'll call it moments, last longer in college than they do in the NFL. Because the NFL, you throw a bad pick, it's what have you done for me lately? But at least a couple weeks later in college, you go, well, he played like that against Utah. It could happen again. And it did happen again. It happened against LSU on the road. But to your point, there's never been much consistency with Anthony Richardson. Same in the NFL.
And then I don't want to just bury him, but I could find a bunch of other examples. Probably the worst, one of the worst plays, maybe the worst play he made wearing orange and blue. They're at Vanderbilt, and they're losing. They've got the ball across midfield. It's going to be basically the last play, and they're probably going to lose. But a Hail Mary is in the offing. It has to be a Hail Mary, right? They're at the plus 46-yard line or whatever. Anthony Richardson's got enough arm to throw it back to Gainesville. This game was in Nashville, okay? So he drops back. It's like going to be everybody in the world knows it's the last play. The last thing you do is throw it off the playing field.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that.
And Richardson threw it. My God, it must have been 6 to 10 rows up into the end zone.
Yeah.
Oh,
not good.
He had a game. He had a play also later in that season. Actually, the end of the season. Florida is playing Florida State. Richardson's quarterback. It's in Tallahassee, and these two teams, average teams, but it was a fun game. They're going back and forth. FSU gets the lead late in the game. Here comes Florida driving to try and win the game, and Florida gets deep. I mean, they get down around the 30, the FSU 30, and it's 1st and 10 with time. I'll never forget. You can look this one up. So the Gators are moving the ball, man. They're going to go win the game at the end. It was a fun game so far in Tallahassee, and Florida calls a pass play. Richardson drops back, and I'll never forget it because he's the son of a Gator great. Jason Odom, Gator great lineman, might have been Jason Odom Jr. His son was a tight end. Not a great player at Florida, but he that year he was getting on the field. So Jason Odom Jr., the tight end, he runs a route, and Florida's just picking up yardage straight down the field. They start at their own 20. They get up to midfield. They're in Florida State. They're about to go win the game. And it's like 3rd and 6 or whatever. Odom runs a tight end route, and he is near the sideline. And Casey, to say he was open, it was like Lewis and Clark, the only humans within 500 miles north, south, east, or west.
Jeez.
On one of their expedition things.
Sure.
Anthony, I mean, he's going to get the first down. He's right on the sideline facing Richardson. Hit me, I'll fall out of bounds. It'll be a first down. We'll be at about the 12 now. Anthony Richardson threw that football probably 20 feet above the tight end. You're like, what in the world? I mean, how do you miss that bad? How do you miss that bad? And then the son of a gun will go do some broken play. Oh, frustrating. Casey, that's why if you're a coach when you talk to coaches about quarterback play in particular, to a man, the quarterback coach will say, okay, if we're on a scale of 1 to 10, 10's a spectacular play, and 1 is a terrible play, and you can fill in the rest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback coaches, they would prefer to have a 7.5, maybe 8 quarterback across the board. I want every play 7.5 or 8 instead of a 10, a 10, a 3, a 10, a 9, a 3.
Right.
You just can't get anything going like that, can you?
You can't. No, you cannot. And unfortunately, that is the Anthony Richardson experience.
Yeah.
He may win you the game. He also may unbelievably and against all odds give the game away. So,
and it may sound stupid me saying this. I'm pro Anthony Richardson. I think he's kind of a nice guy. I'm a Gator fan. I would love to see him succeed. But no, I think I figured him out years ago. I think he's just one of those mega great athletes that he could earn a position on an NFL team at probably 3 or 4 positions. And there aren't many human beings that can do that.
Sure.
And because of that, he's so athletic that I don't know if a position fits him. You know what I mean by fits him?
Sure.
Everything. So, but I mean, seriously, you think about how many human beings right now walking the earth could literally, I'm not saying be a star, but make an NFL team at 3 positions. There aren't many. Anthony Richardson could probably make the NFL as a quarterback, maybe backup, as maybe a tight end if he put on the field, right?
Yeah, no, I agree with that fully.
He could make an NFL roster at a multitude of positions, but maybe he just – and you've seen players like that. I've seen players like this. Some guys are good baseball players. They can hit. They can run. They just don't have a position that fits them. They're awkward on the infield. They're not quite an outfielder. And what do you do with them? But, damn, they're good.
Mm-hmm.
But they just frustrating. All right, that's a long-winded way of saying, if I'm around the TV tonight, I will definitely check out the box score. We'll talk about it tomorrow, and I'll look at the highlights. But, yeah, it is going to be kind of fun tonight. I think that's that's one of the few, I mean, Casey, NFL preseason, the quarterback position, there's not a lot of situations where it is a true open quarterback position for week 1, right? I think this is quasi-open right now.
Yeah, this is, I definitely think they're trying to figure out who their quarterback's going to be week 1. And I don't think there are a lot of teams that are kind of operating under that. I don't even have another one that comes to mind.
And even historically, we'd have to dig in a little bit. I'm sure there are a few, but yeah, it's not very often that I think these 3 games are going to be important for the quarterback position for the Colts. All right, let's take our first break. We're cruising along here on a Thursday, set up live, of course, on the patio at Sliders Oyster Bar. Happy hour group coming in, indoors, outdoors, a lot going on, as always, here at Sliders. And it will be rocking and rolling with live music and just a fun vibe. Great food, great seafood here at Sliders Oyster Bar in Neptune Beach all weekend long. If you're in the area, make a point to come by. You will thank me later. All right, one down, a long way to go. Terry Norvelle coming back after this quick timeout on the Young Norvelle Show.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax PAL.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jax Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jax Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jax Beach.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
Alrighty, there's the practice facility for the Jacksonville Jaguars. A couple more days, probably a walkthrough, I'm guessing. Little light Friday, and then Saturday, the first preseason game here for the Jags. It is a home one. Steelers come into town. Be worth watching a little bit early. You know, they get kind of sideways by the second quarter on, but it'll be exciting. I tried to tip everybody off about a month ago. And you're starting to hear a lot of PSAs, and I'll help out a little bit if I can. But when you go down to the stadium, if you're going Saturday, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of early construction that is kind of, you know, it's early for the big deal, the big construction, the Stadium of the Future. And I've got some people that are pretty deep into the construction situation down there, and they told me 2-3 months ago. And I ran into them again about a month ago, and they said, "Hey, man, there's a lot of in progress, and there's going to be a lot of construction tape around this, and that elevators and that escalator is not working, and it's not supposed to be working right now. But so be a little patient, and be cognizant of where you're walking and what you're doing down there, because I've been told, and you're starting to hear, I've heard a lot of media this week kind of reference that, hey, that stadium now, get there a little early. I know you may always park here and walk in there and ride the escalator there and walk down, and there's your nope. There's going to be a lot of different routes taken. Just hear me now and believe me later for the Jaguars' first game coming up on Saturday in the stadium. They're starting to do a lot of and again, this is work for the big stadium. But, you know, just to get the timeline, as I understand it, this is like some of the the below infrastructure and all this construction stuff, I don't know, but yeah, it's going to be a little different for you down there in most cases. It's I know we're creatures of habit and drive here, park there, go there, get in here, and blah 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 blah. There's going to be some changes. Be fluid, and you heard it here first. I want to go over some SEC football schedules. We're going to kind of bounce around and two or three things that may stand out from each of the 16 programs. We may try to get that today. Start hitting, schedules and quirks in the schedule, and wow, I can't wait to see this game. Wow, what an easy schedule. We'll try and do that. Now, speaking of SEC football, I keep going back to it, but my first question that I would love to get answered, and it will be impossible because I don't think the horse's mouth, if you will, on this question, the horse's mouth will not come out from a pride standpoint and I don't think I need to say this standpoint. The horse's mouth about the question I would love answered, and it would help me with Florida football immensely, is and it's a several part question, has Billy Napier, has he recognized that he might need some help on game day? That's the first thing. The first, second, third, fourth, and fifth thing is the person that needs help in most cases has got to admit that they need help, or nothing's going to happen. Does Billy Napier realize that he struggles? I don't think he has in the past. Was this past season and the additional in-game management debacles, did that do anything to shake up Billy Napier and say, hey, man, I've got to pick up my game? And even if it means, well, wait a minute, I delegate some of that stuff during the games, so it's not all me making all the decisions. Well, Billy, have you figured out that if that is the structure to a degree, well, your structure is not working. If I knew, and I think Billy Napier, this will never happen, and I'm being a little facetious here, and I'm a little tongue-in-cheek here. But you know what Billy Napier could have used this offseason? Post-spring, if you will, current summer. I would have loved, and again, tongue-in-cheek here, but I think you're going to get my point. I would have loved to have gotten a report back that said, you'll never guess where Billy Napier went this summer and spent 4 days. A long weekend. He got there Friday morning and stayed all weekend and got out of town on Monday evening. I would love to have heard that Billy Napier had went to Kirby Smart Camp. Kirby Camp. And just called Kirby and said, hey, can I come up? Can we talk some football? Can we talk some situations? Because I don't think you have to look beyond Athens, Georgia, to see a coach that was a control freak, Kirby Smart. I think Napier's got a little bit of that. He wants to run everything. A control freak, a stubborn. I think stubborn comes with that. Control freak, a lot of times I think stubborn is a kissing cousin of that. And Kirby, well, keep in mind, Kirby was never a head coach. He went assistant to head coach. Power 4 assistant to a Power 4 head coach. Napier at least was a Division I head coach at a smaller school. But if you go back and look at Kirby Smart's coaching career at Georgia, he was spinning his wheels the first 2 or 3 years. And I've got some of the situations that Kirby, he choked the life out of his team and his program. He tried his first, and every Georgia fan watching and listening right now, if you're honest, you're shaking your head in the affirmative. You're like, this guy Terry's right. You remember when Kirby got the job at Georgia, his first 2 or 3 years, he had and I'm going to go over them in a minute. I looked them up, and I've got them here. Not all but some of the just terrible little Napoleon, I'm in control, I'll run the entire program decisions that Kirby Smart made in year 1, 2, and 3 as the Georgia coach. And it hamstrung the Dogs. They were getting talent. They were as talented as anybody. But Kirby Smart, he finally figured out around season 3, season 4, you know what he finally figured out? He said, I've got to get out of my own way. And the first way to do that is you have to admit it. I'm not sure if Billy Napier walked by right here outside the patio at Sliders Oyster Bar, and I said, Billy, sit down. Here, I got a drink for you. And I said, it's just water. I know it's hot out there. And he said, hey, I need some water. And if I didn't tell him, I put truth serum in there. And he guzzled down that water with truth serum in it. And I fired a couple questions. Hey, Billy, do you think your game day decision-making helps or hurts your team? Have you struggled with game day decision-making 4 years into your Florida tenure? I don't think Billy Napier right now would say yes, and that's concerning. We can go back over some Napier blunders. Just he doesn't seem to have a great feel for the game. And a feel for the game means, this is not the time to go for it on 4th and 1. This is the time to go for it on 4th and 1. Oh, boy. Let's see here. We're hammering the ball down their throat. Let's just keep hammering it down their throat versus, you know what? We have softened these guys up enough. It's time now for a play action, fake end around, 9 route on the other side of the field. Napier feels and watching and feeling and almost tasting Napier call a game, you don't feel like he has any feel for the game. But does he know that? So here's some Kirby Smart gets the job at Georgia, and he had several years of, I remember Georgia Nation, and you folks, I know 2 national titles won by Kirby helped smooth everything off. But Georgia fan, if you live through this and you hear what I'm talking about, you remember. And here are some notable, questionable, or bad in-game calls made by Kirby Smart early in his career at Georgia. We're talking 16 through 19. So his first 3-ish years. And these are just a few, and I remember them well. Hell, one of them was basically the same bad trick play called at basically the same time. Here we go. Here are some of Kirby's early coaching blunders, but he finally figured it out that he had to get out of his own way and let his coaches, let his real quality staff coach. Let his players play. Hey, your players, Kirby, are just about better than anybody else's players. If you don't screw it up, they're probably going to win. All right, situation 1, Kirby. 2017 National Championship game. We all remember this. The fake punt call for Georgia, Kirby Smart, versus Alabama. A terrible time to call a fake punt. That was in the CFP National Championship game. 4th and 11 near midfield in overtime in a tied game. That you do not call. That's one of those situations. If the fake worked, it was still a bad call. The call, Georgia ran a fake punt with backup quarterback Justin Fields. Result, Alabama sniffed it out easily and stopped it. Bama got the ball, and Tua hit the game-winning TD soon after. We all remember that. Georgia/Kirby almost got bailed out by a big sack, but he didn't. Criticism, the call was seen as desperate and poorly timed. Bama had their defense on the field, not their punt return personnel. That was the other thing. everybody, including the announcer, said Georgia's lined up to punt from midfield. Alabama doesn't trust it, so they're leaving their defense on. All right, so let's fast forward. The next season, Kirby Smart, still a young coach at Georgia. 2018 SEC championship game. Okay, the first example a moment ago was the national championship game. This is 2018 SEC championship game against Bama again. Fake punt call again. Here's the situation. Game, SEC title game, December of 18. Situation, 4th and 11, tie game midfield again. 3 minutes left. Kirby called another fake punt with Justin Fields. Result, Bama again stopped it cold. Bama then drove and won the game. Criticism, nearly identical to the national championship call the year before. Many question why he repeated such a high-risk, low-reward play against the same opponent. Okay, so there's two just, again, midfield, 4th and 11, high stakes. Even if one or both of those calls worked, they would probably be looked at as, man, sometime a blind squirrel finds a nut, man. Those were terrible calls. All right, one more example for Kirby in his learning process until he figured out, you know what? Maybe I need to I need to quit choking my team out. 2016, Georgia playing Vanderbilt, end of game situation, and this was in Athens. 2016. Regular season loss for Georgia to Vanderbilt. Situation, down 17-16. Georgia had 4th and 1, not 4th and 11, but 4th and 1 with less than 2 minutes remaining. Okay. So Georgia's trailing. A field goal will win it. It's 4th and 1. The call Kirby throws in, he decides to run, go for it on 4th down, 4th and 1. You're Georgia. Your history of football, you've been known as a power running team over the last 150 years of college football. Going for it's not the issue. Going for it is the call there. 4th and 1, down by a point, needing a field goal to win. Here's where it gets a little murky for Kirby. He called a sweep. Okay, we're fine with that. Because the two starting running backs for Georgia that year, a fairly much more healthy than current Nick Chubb, who had a great career at Georgia. They also had a change of pace back named Sony Michel. That's two pretty freaking good college running backs on the same team at one time. So Kirby calls a sweep on 4th and 1 against Vanderbilt, but he says, I got an idea. I'm going to overcoach and choke the life out of my team. Are you listening, Billy Napier? Are you listening, Billy Napier? Billy Napier, are you listening? He decides, Kirby, to run a sweep to 5'7", 165-pound slot receiver Isaiah McKenzie on kind of a jet sweep. And Vanderbilt just mauls him. They touch him a yard across the line of scrimmage, and he goes down because he's Isaiah McKenzie, not Nick. Why do you not hand the ball, toss the ball, give the ball, force the ball, make him just shove the ball in his face mask to Nick Chubb, for God's sakes? Criticism, not using Chubb in short yardage was a head scratcher. Fans and media blasted the call. One more. And again, it takes a while, and I get it, but it takes a while, I think, for revisionist history to happen before people, and nobody wants to look at themselves and say, hey, I've been doing it wrong. I need to change. I need to figure this out. So Kirby there's one more blunder, also the 2016 season, Georgia Tech. The Dogs blew a 13-point lead. Georgia versus Georgia Tech situation. Georgia leading 27-14 in the fourth quarter. The knock here was Kirby got so conservative with his offensive approach, had horrible clock management. We've seen that in Gainesville and with Billy Napier on the road. And a late INT interception gave Tech life. Result, Georgia Tech came back to win 28-27, even though the Dogs led 27-14 in the fourth quarter. The criticism for Kirby, questionable late-game decisions on both sides of the ball, including not running more quarterback. And, not running more clock. We could go over a couple more, but you get the point. But that gets us to Kirby's third, fourth year. You could almost see the light came on. And you could almost see that Kirby Smart figured out, you know what? I'm overcoaching. I'm squeezing the life out of my football program. I've put together a really good, talented staff. I've recruited and assembled a really good, talented football roster. Let me, Kirby Smart, get out of my own way. And back-to-back national titles later, and frankly, Georgia probably should have had another couple. He figured it out. Long segment, long-winded segment for me to say, I really, really wish I had some kind of mold in Billy Napier's office. It's so hard to truly predict what you think Gator football is going to be this year without knowing where is Billy Napier's mind. In Billy Napier's mind, does he feel he needs help? And by the way, asking for game day management help is not a crime, dude. Or delegating some stuff. Now, if you've already done that, some people say, well, have told me, well, Terry, all those decisions, a lot of it's been delegated, and those are not Napier decisions. They've been, well, if that's the case, we've seen the same things happen over and over again. You're delegating incorrectly. You need to change your delegation, if you will. I just don't know. If you put a gun to my head and said, Terry, do you think Napier has self-evaluated himself and come up with some of these theories? I just don't. I don't know. Casey, as we go to break, I don't know if you have anything to add to that. I know it's a long-winded way, but I just don't know what to make of Gator football because I just don't know if Billy Napier, he's coached the life out of his team going on now is what, fourth year? Man, I could rattle off 5 instances where you go, Billy, what were you thinking? What were you thinking or not thinking there?
I mean, that's the gamble you took when you hired him. And,
Yeah.
you can't trust it until you see it. And there's a reality you might have been wrong, but maybe he will figure it out. You just gave evidence that it can be figured out. Now it's up to, frankly, it's up to the man to decide if he's going to figure it out or not.
Yeah. Oh, and again, it's almost, I think a lot of it has to do with until you admit you have a problem, I don't know if AA is going to stick. You know what I mean? I've never had to go through AA, but you've got to admit you've got a problem legitimately before, the diet's going to work, I think.
Yeah, and the I don't want to call it unfortunate, but the part that may be unfortunate when you look back is recruiting is not the problem. Talent is not the problem. He's got the talent for the most part to compete in the SEC on offense and on defense, but he can't coach it and in-game coach it. And that would be a shame if that was his demise because he did everything else right. He just can't cook on Saturday. Yeah,
man, that is a great point because, gosh darn, I've been around this SEC a long time. Florida's roster, this fourth-year roster they put together, they've got good football players. They've got talent across the board. But, man, if your number one enemy that you got to fight is not a 53 yards across on the other sideline, he's 2 feet away from you wearing your same colors, that makes it hard when you're playing a good team.
Oh, yeah. Very tough.
I don't know, man.
Hopefully they do.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. And, I won't bore everybody. I could literally, off the top of my head, give you 6, 7, 8 instances where I can't believe he called this play in this situation. He doesn't have a feel. The flow of the game was going this way, and he killed it. And now, those 6 or 7 instances I could easily rattle off. I remember the one in Tallahassee. I remember the 7th string quarterback that got put on the field last year against Georgia, and at one point he runs a naked back to the line of scrimmage bootleg. Like, why would you do that to that kid? We're not even talking about the double numbers on the punt, and you can't get your field goal team on the field against Arkansas. I mean, those are other things that he's got to tighten up on. I'm talking about Napier decisions that you go, man, he struggles. Man, oh man, oh man. I can't. Casey, I'll try and put a number, and I'll be fair. So, did he just wrap up his 3rd or 4th year? Let me look it up real quick. I can't remember if he wrapped up his 3rd or 4th year at Florida. Napier. Let's see if I can find it real quick.
This will be his 4th year.
This will be his 4th year. Anyway, you know what? I probably shouldn't just sit here and bash him, but some of the stuff he's done, not done, you just scratch your head. And again, I think I've been around long enough, and I've said this for at least 20 years, and I mean this. I've often said, using football as the example, as the sport, there's a lot more to a football call, and an outcome of a play. If it worked, it was a good call. If it didn't work, it was a bad call. I don't think that is 100% across the board. I think at times bad calls turn out good and good calls turn out bad. He's got a penchant for, he just can't get on the right side of the spectrum. We'll see.
Let me ask you this one real quick. He saved his job last year at the end, obviously, because the way it was going, he was not going to be the coach. But
absolutely.
Has that faded since that was last year? Like, he bought equity, he saved his job, and now we're going into this year. Does that still count for anything, or are we back in the same kind of conversation?
I think it counts, provided. Remember, his first 2 big games out of the gate. He didn't get beat. He got destroyed. They got destroyed by Miami, and they got destroyed by a true freshman, first start ever, Texas A&M, in Gainesville. He can't afford that anymore. If he loses some quality, if he loses that Saturday night in Baton Rouge, and it's a quality game, and it's 35-34, and they're swinging, okay, I don't think it's, Katie bar the door. There's a long season. There's 12 teams that make the playoff. He can't go get his ass handed to him. They didn't even compete. I mean, I was at both of those games. They didn't even compete. And the Miami game was really dreadful. That was a home opener with the entire offseason. And that's what he put on the field. Oh, my goodness.
Sure.
Napier. We'll see. We see. But your point's a good one. It is. If he bumbles and boggles this year and it's the end, it's not because of lack of talent. They've got talent on that roster. This is as talented a game. And I follow Florida very close. So everybody knows that. This is as good a top-to-bottom roster of talented college football players as Florida's had in a long time. In a long, long, long time. I mean, they've got there are a lot of guys that the NFL is going to jump on. Their lines of scrimmage are nice. Their skill. I mean, this is a talented roster. But if your head coach is working against you, it's hard. It is hard. All right, let's take another break here. We're starting to wrap up hour number 1. Got some more topics to get to here on the program. Want to get to some of these schedules if we can. Also, got to talk some Major League Baseball. It's that time of year. A lot of different topics to get to. Stay with us right here. One down, 1 hour to go. We're having a good time from the patio at Sliders Oyster Bar in Neptune Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University. Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School. Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Will Olive, Mandarin High School. Go Stangs.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oakleaf High School. Tony Mazzio, Stanwood High School, class of 2002. Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Shacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
The rhythm of my heart is beating like a drum, with We Are Martyr rolling off our tongues. Never will we roam, for we know our place is home. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing.
Okie dokie, let's get right back into it here. Football season right around the corner. Some NFL action tonight. We've got some Major League Baseball, 1 or 2 games that are underway or have been completed in the afternoon. Third inning, no score, White Sox and Seattle. Seattle needs that game. They've closed the gap again on Houston. They keep closing it, and Houston takes it away. Earlier today, final, the Athletics, 6-0 shutout winner over the Nationals. Next game getting underway would be 6:40. The Reds trying to keep pace in the wild card. They're taking on the Pirates, Marlins, Miami Marlins, and the Braves, kind of a couple teams. Marlins made a little bit of a run in the first half. Braves are the Braves. 47. Wow, Braves 47 and 66 tonight. Action in the NFL. 3 preseason games tonight, but one I think has intrigue. We spent a lot of time in the first hour talking about Indy taking on Baltimore. The intrigue is the quarterback situation at Indy. Anthony Richardson, I think he gets the start, and they said that Daniel Jones will get the next start, but I expect both to play. And I think this is a rare situation in the NFL preseason where the starting quarterback is going to be determined from action, I think, on the preseason gridiron here over the next 3 games. I think this is going to be a little bit of a storyline, and we don't get this a lot in the preseason in the NFL. A lot of times it's just going through the motions, break a sweat, put a few fans in the stands and turn the real lights on and just give you a little feel. But no, I think this is a storyline. I think it's one of the gosh, Casey, is this maybe the biggest storyline in preseason NFL football? This quarterback battle?
I mean, it's one of them.
It's legit, right? It's legit.
Yeah, I mean, everybody always wants to see the rookies, so I think that's another one, and I think Travis Hunter's a big one, to be honest with you, now that we know he's going to play on offense and defense on Saturday night. But in terms of, like, huge impact-making things for an organization, I think that's probably the biggest one.
It's interesting. You mentioned Hunter going to play both ways, and I think Cohen came out and said, everybody that's healthy, all starters are gonna break a sweat and play 3 or 4 plays, right? At least, right, 4 or 5 plays.
That's correct. Yes,
which is kind of cool. How about the dichotomy on the field? You're gonna have Travis Hunter. Everybody just wants to watch how cool it's gonna. It's anything new is exciting to a degree. We don't have Chuck Bednarik, modern time. Played both ways and all. The closest thing we have. And I get it. Dion did a little bit, but you never considered Dion, a half and half guy, right? You never really Charles Woodson. You never truly thought he was a half. He was a specialist on the other side of the field.
Right.
You kind of get the feeling Hunter, if it works, it's not going to be 90-10, and he's a specialist on. Go on the field defensively and knock down the Hail Mary at the end of the half and the end of the game, right? Or cover the game's on the line. It's 4th and 13. Go cover their best guy 1 play. You get the feeling with Hunter, if he's going to work out as this dual threat, it will be a Chuck Bednarik where you're playing 35 snaps on this side and 30 other on the other side.
Correct. Yeah, it's not a gimmick. It's not going to be a gimmick.
And then on the field Saturday, in the black and gold, you're going to have nauseating quarterback play because Will Howard, the rookie who's injured, he won't play for Pittsburgh. He would have been worth watching a little bit. At least he hasn't stunk it up in the NFL. He's just getting to the NFL. You don't think Rodgers will play much, so the game's going to feature Skylar Thompson, and who's the other cat?
Mason Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson. Hey, ask a Dolphin fan how good Skylar Thompson is, for God's sakes. Oh. We'll see. Is it is it supposed to rain this weekend? I think I've seen some heavy rain numbers percentages.
I believe it is. I don't know the timing wise of that, but I remember seeing Burrish's 7-day and it had rain on Saturday.
There you have it. All right, let's talk some Major League Baseball. We got some stuff going on. Want everybody to be aware of as baseball starting to get near 40 games, and it'll be the 40 sprint, if you will. Yesterday, both the Phillies and the Mets lost. So, is that still a 2.5 game lead? Let me pull this back up real quick. And that has been such a fun race all year, the Phillies and the Mets. Let me pull this up real quick. Yeah, the Phillies have carved out a 2.5 game lead, and it has really They've been tied. There have been a game, maybe a game and a half, maybe a half game. And 2.5 is not a lot, but I mean, the Mets have lost 4 in a row, and they're back 2.5 games behind the Phillies. But both teams lost yesterday. Seattle, and they're playing right now. No score early in their game, but Seattle, they flirted with this a couple times in the first half in terms of chasing down the Astros. But Seattle, as we sit right now, and the Mariners are in progress right now, the Mariners have crept back to 2 games. They're 2 games behind the Astros. And this is the point, Casey. They've closed it to 2, and then they've hiccuped, and it's gone to 4 and 5, and then they chip away. They won't have many more chip away chances, but the Mariners are 2 out. 2 out.
Mariners
right
are
now.
a good team too. Don't sleep on
They
them.
are good, aren't they? And they made moves, right?
Yeah, they did. They did. And
yeah,
what they needed is their pitchers to get healthy, and Logan Gilbert's done that. George Kirby has done that, and Bryce Miller's on the way to doing that. So if they can get back and pitch halfway decent to what they should be, then that's a dangerous team.
Yeah, and unless they fall apart, will they catch Houston? I don't know. They've gotten to 2 games, they fall back. They get to 2, they fall back. They get to 2, but unless they fall off, they're going to grab a wild card. They're going to.
Yes.
They're 62 and 53, almost 10 games over. They're going to grab one. The other, all of a sudden, wow, it kind of looks funny to the naked eye when you look at the National League Central. As we sit right now, Milwaukee 4 games up on the Cubs. I haven't seen a 4 with Milwaukee on top, I don't think, all year. Is this biggest lead they've had, I think.
Feels like it. It feels like they never lose.
Yeah, Milwaukee, 70 wins right now and cruising. They're on a 6-game winning streak. They're 9-1 their last 10, and they have just all of a sudden not only caught the Cubs, again, they've got a 4-game lead. Just to put it in perspective, like what you just said, your division leaders. So obviously these teams have a bunch of wins. The Blue Jays leading the AL East, 68 wins. The Tigers have been pretty damn consistent all year. They're a good team. They lead the AL Central, 66 wins. The Astros, slow start, but they've got it together, battled through injuries. The Astros lead their American League West division. The Astros have 64 wins. You know how good the Phillies have played because they've had to play good because the Mets have been on their heels. The Phillies, 65 wins. I'll skip the Central, and I'll go down to the National League West. The Dodgers, they've had a couple hiccups. They've had some injuries, but they've been pretty damn good all year with a star-studded lineup. The Dodgers have 66 wins. And, Casey, what you said a moment ago, it feels like the Brewers, all they do is win. The Brewers, National League Central, 70 wins. They're sitting on 70 damn wins, leading Major League Baseball. Goodness gracious. Good for them. San Diego, don't look now. Don't look now. The Giants have fallen bad in that division, but San Diego, they won't go away. They just won't go away. The Padres are only 2 behind the Dodgers for the division lead. 2 behind the Dodgers, and they are set up pretty well to get into the playoff with a wild card if things were to end now. Got another note here on the Yankees. Only up the Yankees right now. Here's how far the Yankees have fallen. They pretty much dominated, wouldn't you say, the AL East in the first half. I mean, they must have led, Casey, the AL East, the Yankees. They must have led that thing for 75% of the first half, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'd agree.
Now you look up, and not only are they looking up at Toronto as the division leader, are the Yankees. The Yankees are not even in second. Baltimore is 4 back in second place. The Yankees are 6.5 games back of the division lead. And don't look now, the Yankees are only a game and a half up on the 3rd wild card spot. They're about to play themselves out of the wild card.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad right now for them.
Sakes. Goodness gracious. I also wanted to get to this we kind of painted the picture who's chasing who, and it looks like those 2 or 3 teams I named from each division, those are pretty much the ones chasing each other and or to some degree kind of trying to hurdle and fight and claw to get one of the 3 wild card spots in both leagues. So we know the participants now. I noted this down a couple of days ago, and I think it's still relevant. I don't think any teams have played since then. But I took a lot of the contenders and the falter teams as well, but mostly the contenders. And I kind of looked the rest of the way. We got about 40 games left, 42, 43 games left. So, and those go quick. As you know, Casey, you play 40 games. When you're playing 5.5, 6 games a week, 40 goes quick.
Very quick. Couple of weeks.
40 goes quick. But some of the teams who they have left in contention and they're going to have to end up beating. We talked about Philadelphia, the Phillies and the Mets. It's been a fun race all year. I'm showing they have 7 games. So that's a lot. They have 7 games remaining. 3 are at the Mets and 4 are at the Phillies. 4 at the Phillies. But they play 7 more times still, which is kind of cool. So they'll play a lot of head-to-head. We talked about Milwaukee. They're the hottest team in baseball. They've got the most wins. They've chased the Cubs down. They have a big lead. How about this stat? I'm showing that Milwaukee and the Cubs, they play a 5-game series coming up 8/18. So August 18th. Not that far. And this has to do with a rainout. They had a 4-game series. They had a rainout earlier, so I think on the first day of this series coming up in a few weeks, they'll play a doubleheader. Casey, they've got a 5-game stretch, and that's the last time they play each other. They play 5 in a row.
That's awesome.
You don't see that very often.
No, you don't. You get to see every pitcher from both teams, basically, and that'll probably, decide what's going to happen there.
It might. And you know what that reminds me of? You may know this more than me, but it wasn't that long ago to save on money and travel. Minor league baseball started going to like 5 and 6 games homestands between 2 teams.
Correct. Yes.
Just not 2 visiting teams coming, right? One team would come out.
Everybody plays everybody Tuesday through Sunday. That's it. So like there's no everybody has Monday off and then you travel Monday. Yeah. But and every series is Tuesday through Sunday.
It makes sense from a budgetary standpoint. That's what this reminds me of. Now this is induced because of a rainout earlier, and this is the last time they play, so they need to squeeze it in, the extra game. But damn, they're going to play a doubleheader and then 3 more. So they're going to play 5 games in 4 days, and they're meaningful games, really meaningful games. We talked about San Diego, the Padres hanging around. What did we say they're out? They are only 3, did we say? Let me see real quick.
Yeah, only a couple games. I think you said 2.5.
Yeah, Padres, like 2 behind the Dodgers. They've been hanging around, have the Padres. They're 8-2 their last 10. Well, it's going to, if it continues to be these 2, they're going to settle on the field. Dodgers, Padres, 3 home, 3 away. So they play 6 times, and they're split right down the middle. Also, Houston and Seattle, they only play 3 more times, 3 games in Houston. So Seattle is going to have to get a little help probably as well. But and then finally, Toronto. They've skyrocketed to the top of the AL East. Just for what's and giggles, Toronto has 3 games left at the Yankees. So the Yankees get Toronto 3 more times. I bet they wish they had a few more to try and chip away. And then Toronto also, they have 3 with Boston. So Toronto still has 2 series, 1 with the Yankees and 1 with the Red Sox, the teams they're trying to fend off. Damn, Red Sox won't go away, will they?
No, they're good. They're playing maybe the best of anybody right now, besides the Brewers.
They really are. They really are. So that's a look at Major League Baseball, trying to see if anything else from my notes. Speaking of Boston, we got this on a couple days ago. Obviously, we're a couple of 2 or 3 weeks, I guess, now removed from the All-Star game, which is the unofficial halfway point. Red Sox been playing real good ball since then. Remember, they went into the All-Star break on a 10-game heater. They had a damn 10-game winning streak going into the All-Star break. So they're something like 17-6 their last 23 or what have you. But the Red Sox right in the middle of everything here. As we start approaching our next break, I don't know how to draw the line and where to draw the line. I just know there are times I have real feelings that the line has to be drawn. Casey, I don't know if you saw this, and I don't blame players from the 1983 North Carolina State basketball national championship team, and that was the Jim Valvano, and he's running around on the court, and the crazy shot that was an air ball that got dunked in. You remember it. You weren't alive, but you remember that
Sure.
famous game. I'm not against anybody making money and legally making money, but I agree with this decision. Some of the players from that 83 NC State championship team, some of them took a pretty big, I guess, class action. It was multiple people jumping in. Lawsuit, wanting to sue the NCAA because they claim, well, we couldn't make money off name, image, and likeness back then, but Lord knows our team that year, those highlights, those shots, those everything you can think of media-wise has been used so much to help make money, but none of it went to us. And the judge said no. He just said, hey, man, that wasn't going on. I agree with the judge's decision. And I don't know. I've got attorney friends, as you do, Casey, as most people do. I don't know the legality, but to me sometimes, well, Lewis and Clark, I think they made the show earlier today. Lewis and Clark, when they were hired to do an expedition across the country, what the hell did we just buy in this Louisiana Purchase, right? So they took horses and buggies. Well, I don't think it's anybody's fault that the airplane wasn't invented by then. Right? I mean, sometimes it's just the rub of the green.
Sure.
I agree. I mean, I still to this day don't know how and why 2016 got picked out as the draw the line for athletes getting paid, right? You know how that
I agree. I completely agree, Terry.
And there's Patric Young. Pat, you and I have talked about this. I don't know where I would draw it or would I draw it, but how did they come up with why not 2006 or what? Why not? I don't. Why did they pick 2016? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe there's some type of statutes of limitation on this.
Maybe.
Possibly that's got to be it. Something that that maybe we need to ask Mike Freed that, but that's my impression. That because they stopped 2 years short of me, so I have a personal investment in this too.
And to the best of your knowledge, I didn't dive deep into this, but it's pretty much been understood and the money's been outlaid. So are they just going to kind of take every student athlete, do division, and send out checks? Is that how, or are they going to try and put a tier system? I don't know how they're going to try and do it.
Yeah, that's interesting because I'm curious now, like what they're going to do. They're probably going to calculate and divide all that money up evenly. Because I think it would take years for them to put a value on like this player, even though we know it, obviously, non-revenue generating sports versus revenue generating sports. But I'm curious, like, what if said athletes don't fill out the settlement form or whatever that were eligible? What do you do with that leftover money? Do they just like, what do they do? Because there's going to be athletes that are going to be like, it's only $100. It's going to be more than that. But that's just where I'm curious how that's going to unfold.
Well, Patrick, my next comment may anger you, and we're friends enough that we can talk about different sides of the spectrum. When it comes to that decision to give athletes from 2016 working our way up to modern times, and they're going to give them some financial payment because they didn't have the right to go get NIL. I don't think, if you ask me to make that decision, I don't think I would say they deserve money. So I just think sometimes, I'm sorry, but if I was a star actor in 1901 but movie advertising wasn't around back then. I don't think I would compensate myself and say, well, if it was around, I was a star, I should have made a bunch of money. I probably wouldn't award the athletes. NIL, I mean, wasn't around back then.
Yeah.
Now the argument is it couldn't have, maybe somebody wanted it to be around, but the athlete got squashed. I get that too, but it wasn't around.
I think I'm more so looking at like just how freaking long it would take.
Yeah.
Because then, you know, let's say for instance, I'm trying to think of money contracts. In 1975, Terry, what was the top paid NFL player making?
Yeah, I'll tell you this, less than $1 million, because Nolan Ryan was the first American athlete, major sport athlete in like 79 to sign for $1 million contract. They were probably
Right.
$600,000-$700,000 was the tip top.
Because like, I'm trying to think of scale. Are we trying to say, well, $1 million back then is actually $20 million now, or like that just seems like so confusing.
Yeah.
That nothing would get done. It's like, hey, let's just ease this thing out. Everyone gets the same. Everyone gets the same.
And you know, Patrick, I played college sports in the 80s, and I played Division I baseball, and a JU home game, we probably drew 250 fans on average. I mean, what kind of money would I come? I don't know. If there was NIL back then, there was nobody were going to hand me $5,000 to pitch Merrill Road Chevrolet. I don't think.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think.
Yeah, like you have to look at what was the TV money at that time? What were ticket sales? What concession sales? Because all of that obviously goes into account.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that seems, and then like, are we going to track down living family members to get money for this? Like, oh my gosh, Sarah, can you imagine?
I thought of that as well. You've got athletes that are passed away. Are we supposed to then track? Yeah, interesting.
I'm not saying it's wrong or which way is right or wrong. I'm just saying, like, you know, if you were to get $1 million, Terry,
yeah,
and I said, hey Terry, you'll get $1 million in 20 years. Would you? Obviously, yeah, that's cool, but like, it doesn't impact you today.
Sure.
It doesn't change your life, and it's like life is now. What all that, and you know, God willing, maybe you can't even, you have all that money and you can't even use it for the fun things you want to do. To enjoy it.
Sure.
I just think it's just so muddy. It's not a black and white answer unless they make it a black and white. It is. The clearer they can make it, the better.
Yeah, the big question though, and it's not a big deal, but and you and I've talked on this show a couple times. We just don't know how the year 2016 got picked out. I mean, was it a dart on a board? How did they just say, and the year we go back shall be 20 of 16? I don't know. I don't know. Hey, PY, I got basically I got a smiley face. I got a good job.
That's good.
A verbal smiley face. You want to hear why?
Yeah. Your follow-up. I'm happy to hear that. How are you? Good.
I'm doing great, man. And I was so proud, man. I went in there and they examined. And Doc said, man, I said, Doc, I'm doing great. And he basically said he wished every patient was as diligent as I was. How about that?
At what point should you be fully healed and you don't even have to think about it anymore?
He's got me going back just to do a look-see again in 2 months. But yeah, he said I can pretty much get back to. He doesn't want me doing my arena job because there's some lifting and he doesn't want me getting real sweaty. But he told me I can go back to the gym. I can do some light cardio and light weights. And I always do light weights anyway. I'm not a guy that wants to lift half the gym. I don't put a big weight belt on or anything. So I do feel fat though. I haven't done anything cardio in 2 weeks.
I don't get
today.
that, man.
I just feel fat.
Just be active. Just find something that you like, because the heavier you lift, man, the percent chance, and as you get older, the chances that you're going to get injured and not be able to perform, not be able to, I mean, you got guys in there that, unless they're getting paid, if you're getting paid, you get money for doing all that stuff for your bodybuilding. That's a whole different animal. But like, if this is just your hobby for fun, like I had a buddy, he sprained his ACL, and he's a physical therapist. Like he had a job, but he sprained his ACL from trying to squat too much weight.
Ooh.
And it's like, bro, you're not, like, what are you trying to do? You're already doing double your body weight.
Yeah. Well, I know, Patrick, I never have been, I've been a workout guy. I like being in shape, and I like working out. You know, it's part of my lifestyle, and I enjoy it. I'm in a better mood after but I've never been a guy that went to the gym and put the big weight belt on and tried to personal best and squat and all this. I've always been I'm a lightweight. I'd rather do lightweight, high rep. I'm that guy. I'm lightweight, high rep guy, and maybe even do full extensions with a lightweight. Then no, man, I want to do one arm curls with 80 pounds, and maybe I can do 90 tomorrow.
Have you ever seen any of those videos, Terry, when, like, say for instance, someone's doing a real heavy curl, and you see their muscles snap?
Yes, and it is grotesque.
Like you see it rupture. It's awful. It's one of the most awful things you'll ever see.
It really is, and that just looks so painful, doesn't it? So painful. And you know, I'm fighting it. You're going to start fighting it. I think it's just inevitable unless you have special genes and things like that. Not Sydney Sweeney genes, but genes. You know what I mean? It's the damn spare tire. The damn spare tire, because I learned it when I hit about, I'm 60 now. When I hit about 50, it just happened. You're like, man, I'm not doing anything bad diet-wise. I'm not doing anything different. Where's this? And you could kind of feel your body slows down a little bit, just naturally. It just doesn't burn like it used to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't
burn.
No.
And you know, when we were all young, you remember your 20s, and you know, wasn't that long ago for you, but it was a while ago. You remember your 20s or your teens? You were on the go. You didn't realize how much you were on the go. You were moving and grooving and going and riding and playing and meeting people, right? Your body was always burning fuel, you know?
Right, absolutely.
And then, you know, even you remember the old days, you were 21, 22, 23, you were going out with the fellas and you were going to the fun places. Well, think about it. You were standing up all night, right? And people say, well, you weren't doing it. Well, just standing up, you know how many muscles it have to fire for the human body to stay? You know what I'm talking about. You just standing up for 6 hours while you're flirting with girls and right? You know what I mean? Though it takes. That's why I like hairdressers that stand up all day.
Oh, dude,
they're exhausted at the end of the day. Well, it takes a bunch of muscles to fire just to stand up all day.
You're overusing them. You know.
Yeah. It ain't fair, man.
And actually, you know, my buddy, he works for UPS. He's been with UPS for a long time. 31 years old. Like, he is so banged up from jumping in and out of the truck.
Yep.
And moving packages. I mean, he has great knee pain, and just the amount you shouldn't have at being 31 years old. But I think that's the life of UPS drivers. They're in and out. They get paid well. They have a great union, but they work their butts off.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, Pat, we'll take a break here. I don't know if you heard earlier. We had some great discussion. I don't really get into the NFL preseason, but there's a kind of a neat storyline, and it's going to happen tonight. It's going to start. Anthony Richardson and the Colts, he's in a battle for his quarterback life. I mean, they've got Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. Casey agrees. We think these 3 preseason games are going to probably determine who's the starting quarterback for the Colts. You don't see you don't see real meaningful snaps in preseason very often. But tonight,
Right.
if you're sitting around, if I'm sitting around, I'm gonna try and remember to at least look at the highlights and see what happened.
yeah.
I think it's a big night for Anthony Richardson.
What who's the backup?
Daniel
Or
Jones.
Oh yeah. Hey man, there's a chance.
I
Daniel
think
Jones isn't awful.
I think it's wide open. I think, and it's rare that I think it's rare. In case you agree, that an NFL quarterback position is pretty much going to be determined by the preseason games. Normally, there's a pecking order. I think this thing is. I think if one of these guys, what's the bed, I think the other guy's going to be the starter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun to watch.
I mean, and look at this, man. I mean, I don't think Anthony Richardson seems to be fully healthy quite yet with that shoulder. So even if he does get the start, man, I mean, I feel no confidence that he will stay healthy, because running is part of what he does. That is part of his game. And I just, I wish him the best. I want this kid to be.
Me too.
But I just don't think he was set up in a position to be successful so early on. He was not Jaden Daniels coming out of college.
No.
He wasn't even Jalen Hurts coming out of college.
No.
And you expect him to be on the level as those guys?
I mean, Anthony Richardson at Florida, and I get it. He was a young starter there, didn't play a lot of football at Florida. But AR at Florida, and certainly his first couple of years in the league, he has struggled to complete passes in the 50 percentile. Nowadays, the accepted percentage, you better be 65, 68.
Or you better be 66, yeah.
Or better. The NFL, you got to complete passes, man. The days of 54% being a good completion percentage, that's Terry Bradshaw days. I mean, you got to complete some passes in that league. Pat, before we take one final break, we'll come back and any topics you have. I don't know if you heard today around the nation. I heard some national shows and some local shows. Boy, the Gator basketball schedule has really gotten some good play. That is and you know what? The SEC owed it to Florida. Remember what happened last year? Florida did not play Kentucky in Gainesville. They only played Auburn on the road. They only played Alabama on the road, right? And that was a bad deal, but it was because of expansion. And we said all last year, well, you know what? They're going to get paid back this coming year. Patrick, that is a nice-ass home schedule for the Gator basketball team this year. Really nice.
Oh, I mean, it's tough, man. It's a tough schedule.
It's nice, though, man.
Don't take Wisconsin. I think George Washington, I don't think we really have to worry about those.
Yeah.
But it's tough, man. It's a tough schedule.
What is it? It's like 5 straight Saturdays. They're playing big boy SEC teams: Auburn, Alabama, Arkansas, who was a Sweet 16 team, Tennessee, who was as good as anybody at some point. They play like 5 Saturdays in a row at home against big time. If you wanted to follow Florida basketball and you had the wherewithal, you could go see them play Arizona neutral. You could go to Duke and see them play. You could see all those. They got a hell of a schedule, man. It's a fun schedule, Gator basketball. Can't wait.
Yeah, and hey, Terry, good news.
What do you got?
At this point, at least at this point for me now, the seed has been planted for me to get requested for the Jacksonville game, Florida against Miami. That did not happen last year, so hopefully this year, and obviously I'll make sure. I hope I can get you some good seats, like right on the court or right behind the team, or something like that, to enjoy that game.
Now, did Patric Young plant that seed, or did you go somebody around the corner to help you plant that seed with the TV boys?
Yeah. So was fortunate, I went to that SEC meetings in Destin, and I met someone that was with the SEC network that works in the office in Charlotte, and her Madison Webb, awesome girl, and I just said, hey, is there any chance this game that you can help me or direct me to the person to get requested for the game. So she messaged me back today and said, your request has been heard. We'll hear back soon.
And you mean as talent?
Yes, as a talent.
Yeah, as talent. Yeah, not credentials.
Yeah.
You mean as talent. Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Doing the game.
Yeah, you need it. All right, we got Patrick hooked up here. Let's take a break here. Got a little audio issue. We'll take a break. Come back, Pat. We'll start landing the plane. It's been a fun Thursday, as they all are at Sliders. Happy hour crowd rolling in. Great seafood rolling out of the kitchen. They carry the best seafood, the freshest seafood you'll find anywhere in Neptune Beach. I guarantee you, you'll find it. They carry Safe Harbor seafood right here at Sliders. One segment left. We'll wrap things up on the other side. It's the Young Norvelle Show live from Sliders Oyster Bar.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
This has been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax PAL.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jacks, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jacks is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jacks 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jacks 24/7.
All right, let's get back into it here. Terry Norvelle, Patric Young, good shot there of Gainesville. Looks like, I think, is that the bell tower, Pat, if you can see that?
I believe so, yeah.
Bell tower, they call that, I think.
I've never been up there.
No, me either. I see it a lot. Patric Young hanging around. We're wrapping up the Thursday edition. Pat, I got to get something off my chest here. It has nothing to do with sports, but I see this happen a lot, and I hate it in public. And you may agree, and you may see it happen a lot. Why is it that quite often I'll go into a public restroom, maybe at a restaurant or a bar or whatever, just public restroom, maybe at a store, okay? So far, so good. You just go into the restroom, got to use the bathroom.
I'm following.
I'll go into a public restroom, and I'll walk in, and nobody's in the restroom, okay? So you're walking in, so there's nobody there. And you look at one of or just the only sink, and the water is running full blast.
Oh, yeah.
What? So that means somebody turned it on and walked out with it.
Yeah.
Pat, why does that happen so much?
That is, I remember, and I talked to John Pelfrey. He's now he was assistant coach, head coach at Arkansas, assistant coach for me when I was at Florida. And now he's at Tennessee Tech. This will be his 7th year at Tennessee Tech.
Really? Wow.
There was one time he called our team out because they were guys that they had no respect and they were inconsiderate of others. Yes. They'd leave the shower on, or they wouldn't put their clothes or their towels into the bucket for the managers to wash the clothes. And it's just like the entitlement.
Yes.
And I got it. I was like, yeah, it's really kind of I don't want to put names out there, but there was one teammate I had, and I said, and I'm like, dude, the managers are not your slaves.
Yes, very nice.
Like, they are not, and you need to treat them with respect. They're literally washing your clothes on a daily basis.
Yes.
All they're asking you to do, put your socks on the strap.
Yeah.
And put it in the laundry basket. That's literally all you have to do. Put your towels inside there. And I think after that, I think we did a much better job as a team, because that's one of those things you take on as a team. You say, okay, it's not my fault, but I'm going to be a part of the solution.
Yes. Well, Patric, I tip my hat to you for doing that, and I totally agree, man. Somebody in a role like that, man, if anything, you give them a Christmas card and some cookies once a year or something.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. That's one thing that I from NIL in college sports, I hope that does happen more often, where because this happened a lot when I was in Europe. The players, whenever the holidays came around, we would collect a little fund. Not a little fund. I mean, we probably send those guys home with like $2,000-$3,000 because like they got paid nothing. They got paid nothing.
Yeah,
not nothing, but like pretty much.
Well, the word is in big time Power 4 sports, football, baseball, basketball, hockey. The word is like the clubhouse attendants get taken care of very nicely. And I don't know if it's always been that way, but yeah, very nicely. Either visiting teams will leave a pouch of money to be distributed. Hey, there's 3 guys. Make sure everybody gets a little bit of this. Or at the end of the year, the home team will take care of their clubhouse guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, they're not desirable jobs, but these guys, they love being a part of the organization. Yeah. I would equate it to this, Terry. Look, being a janitor at a hospital, that's a tough job.
Sure it is.
That's a tough job.
Sure,
but their job is so important. I don't care how smart the doctors are, the nurses, how good they are. If those rooms aren't cleaned, and those people feel like they're not appreciated, for one, they quit. They quit very often, and then your outcomes for patients, there's a chance they're not going to be as good, because you want those rooms to be as sanitized as possible.
Yep. I'll tell you another sports kind of job that falls under this, and it's a tough job, and it has to be done, and you're not part of the team, but you're part of the organization. In Major League or even minor league baseball, bullpen catcher, that's a tough job.
Oh yeah,
you got to have 2 of them,
I didn't
on
think
each
about that.
in each bullpen because you can warm up 2 at a time. But think about it. Those aren't your catchers that are on the team. Those are hired workers. That's a tough job all summer long.
What? They're not even. Wow.
And those guys
I'm sure the backup catcher though. I'm sure every now and then they mix in there and get some reps though, right?
Yeah. But no, they're not
Wow.
part of the team on the roster. No, they're hired to be bullpen catchers. They make 6 figures. That's a tough job.
That's a tough job.
And the home team has to supply 2 bullpen catchers on the other side.
Wow.
Right?
I did not
Because
know that. Thank you, Terry.
The visiting team's not taking 2 bullpen catchers, and that's a tough job. You're grunting, and it's 100,000 degrees. And think about
we talked about this before, Terry. I'm sorry to interrupt, but we talked about this before. You know, what mom is going to choose for their kid playing baseball the first job being a catcher?
Yes,
is the most dangerous job.
Yeah.
You're in the action, right? The tools of ignorance.
Yeah.
So, but at least on that level, as you said, they're getting paid pretty well, but still,
that's a tough job.
Not easy.
Man. And you know, in the era we're in now in baseball, I mean, each team can go through 6 or 7 pitchers in a game. So you're down there. How many pitches are you taking and squatting?
Oh yeah.
You're catching the equivalent of a game or 2 just by yourself every night.
Didn't you share? You shared something in sports history last week or the week before about some team that had 7 pitchers in 1 inning.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it's just ungodly.
Oh man.
How would you like to be the bullpen catcher for that?
Oh man, goodness gracious sakes alive.
Pat, we'll wrap it up with this. We'll wrap this little fun segment up, and we'll start landing the plane here. I can't tell you. Quite often, I'll be out and about at a restaurant or so, walking to a public, and the water's just running full go, and nobody's in there. I'm like,
well, that's one that gets me, Terry, for sure. And then, you know, I think it's in every neighborhood. I don't think you got to discriminate by race on this. But how many times have you driven from home going somewhere, and you just see an ungodly amount of trash?
Yes.
Just somewhere in Jacksonville. I literally remember going to my grandma's house one day on 95 and getting off on Edgewood, and the sign literally says no littering, fine up to like $500. And I mean, probably about 3-4 trash cans worth of trash scattered all around there. I'm like, what kind of people just have no care like this?
Yeah. And
how hard is it to hold on? Like everyone goes to a gas station. Everyone that drives goes to the gas station.
I know.
Like that's the perfect time to empty your car of any trash.
And I don't think I'm unique in this, Patrick. I stop particularly on this show, I'll stop at a gas station a lot of times and pick me up a Propel water, maybe a snack, maybe some peanuts. But of course, I'll check myself out and I'll get a plastic bag. I always have a plastic bag over my gear shift, and that's my in-car garbage bag. And when it gets full, I throw it away at a gas station.
Yeah. I have one of those. It was only $10, but it's an actual trash can that I just put behind my passenger seat, and anything I just roll it up or whatever, put it in there, and you have the trash bag. You use whatever you want, plastic bag wise. But like every time I go to the gas station, if it's full, that's where I empty it and I change it.
And I will admit this, and this will, I know we've buried John Q. Public quite a bit here. This I'll give back.
These are important topics, man. Honestly,
I agree. I'll give back to John Q. Public. I don't see as much now as I did years ago. It wasn't that uncommon. You'd be at a red light and you'd see the car in front of you open their door and just kind of like throw out a cup, a Burger King cup or something. You're like, what are you doing? Just keep it and throw it away. You've seen that, haven't you? You're like, what are you doing, dude?
I mean, you can get as minute. You can get as minute as cigarette butts. I mean, those. It's not. You know, those are not biodegradable. You know, those those can cause problems.
And I will give it to
the environment.
I'll give it to the cigarette smoker. You don't see as much flicking the butt out like you used to. You don't see as much. You still see some, But yeah, man, when they just throw out, you'll be riding down the road. You don't see it as much as you used to, but you used to see a guy, and a lot of times it might have been kids, 18, 19-year-old kids. They'll throw their empty bag of McDonald's out the window, and you're like, kid, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, I know, man.
Don't do that. Or how about when you're at a park or a little creek or a pretty area, you'll be walking on maybe a dock or something, and you'll look over it and there's trash. Somebody's thrown beer cans and bottles, and you're like, "Come on, people, why'd you do that?"
And what's worse is like you'll see it, Terry, and then you'll say, "Oh my gosh, a trash can was 30 feet away."
30.
It was literally. I got a quick one to gripe on. A quick one. I just opened up ESPN. Do you remember what Steelers player was pretty loud in terms of Aaron Rodgers taking so long to make a decision? Do you remember?
Yes, I do. I got to remember if I can think of the name.
Older guy on the line, D lineman.
I do remember somebody started going, "What the hell? What's taking him so long? Are you coming?"
Multiple times.
Who was it?
Well, Hayward.
That's right.
Cameron Hayward. And now he's on the top list of ESPN. He's still practicing, but he wants to get money now. So I guess, you can't give him some leniency because he is actually practicing. But it's like, dude, why didn't you do this earlier? You had all this time.
Wow.
And I mean, he's an older guy. I don't know if he's gonna get a raise. I don't know. Yeah. Like, is he willing? Is he get the raise that he wants? Is he willing to sit out for that? Because then you're missing game checks.
Yeah. Interesting.
But the Steelers can't risk not having him out there, though. They really can't.
I do remember him complaining about, "Hey, man, what's going on with this circus? Are you signing or are you not, man? Come on, dude."
I hate all that. I hate when athletes get critical of guys like that publicly.
Yeah.
Like if he stays and he calls Aaron and has a one-on-one talk with him or whatever, that's different. I think that should stay private. But I mean, you're just setting up. They're almost setting themselves up for some dysfunction coming into this season.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how many Steeler fans they will cram into the stadium Saturday. What is it? We talked about the Steelers and the Packer fans. They seem to just be all over the country. They just, when the Packers come here or the Steelers.
I think String Sports Bar, the one on Main Street, friends of the show, the D family, they had a crazy Green Bay Packer event. I want to say 2 years ago, and the Packers, like, we've been to Strings. It can have a lot of people on a game day. They said there was an overflow in the back and the front. It was standing room only.
Really?
Of those Packers fans. Those fans travel.
Hey, shameless plug again to Scott. We both like Scott Adib and the whole Adib family. They're a great community family. Have you been to the new one over here on Penman? I've been like twice, and I had a burger. Man, it was good. The burger was
I've been.
Big.
It's tight, man. It's
a little tight. I agree.
It's a little tight, yeah. But I think the thing about new places when you open it, because the Strings on Main Street's got like a 4.7 star rating.
Yeah.
And people are so impatient with putting up reviews, like, but also I can hear the sentiment of like, well, they shouldn't have opened if they weren't ready yet. Come on, guys.
Yeah. The online reviews are funny. Why is it that John Q. Public, from a negative review standpoint, they'll go to they'll remember it. They'll get home. They'll get the computer out. They'll get on the phone, and it seems so easy to post a negative, but it takes John Q. Public almost doesn't want to do the work to post a positive review. It's always negative that they.
I know.
Post.
Look, have you ever had an interaction where you've given somebody a 1-star review?
No. Not much, and I don't do a lot of Google reviews at all, but I do more positive, and a lot of times, and I mean it when I give a positive, but a lot of times I'll get reminded, hey, if you get a second, could you go online? And I'll go, okay, yeah, I did have a good experience, but I don't do a lot of reviewing. I don't do a
It's
whole
rare,
lot.
man. I own the business, and I understand you're never going to be able to fully satisfy anyone. But if you're going to give a 1-star review, at least show up and communicate with the people. You know.
Yeah.
I actually recently put a 1-star review, and one of the first things I said, if the owner of this establishment calls me and talks to me, I will take it down.
Can you take it
And
down?
that was like 3 or 4 months ago, Terry. No, she's never called me.
Interesting.
She's never called me. She's never reached out. So it's going to stay
And
up
I
there.
didn't even know you can go back and take one down if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The person that puts it up has to take it down. Like, you know.
Makes sense. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right,
But
Pat,
I
we're
just
out of
think
here, buddy.
So cowardly, but anyways.
I agree. Hey, thanks for jumping on. Fun last hour. We got a lot of stuff covered. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm going to look at the box score. I'll watch a little bit of that AR and see what happened between Daniel Jones and Anthony.
That's
Richardson.
today, isn't it?
Tonight. Yeah, they play tonight.
Yeah.
3 games.
Yeah. Can't wait.
All right, buddy. Good to hear from you. We'll catch up tomorrow. We'll kick off the Friday edition of the Young Norvelle Show, of course, at 4 o'clock, as we'll be one day closer to those guys actually getting on the field with another team. Jaguars, Steelers this Saturday. We'll kind of preview it tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Thursday, everybody.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University. Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Will Olive, Mandarin High School. Go Stangs.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oakleaf High School. Tony Mazzio, Stanwood High School, class of 2002. Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Shacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
The rhythm of my heart is beating like a drum, with We Are Martyr rolling off our tongues. Hey! Never will we roam, for we know our place is home. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing.